In this lecture, I am going to talk about structure and bonding of heavier element substituted acetylene derivatives. In my last lecture, I have discussed about the structural comparison of ethylene molecules with heavier element substituted ethylene derivative molecules, and we have also find out that ethylene has a planar structure, whereas heavier element substituted double bonded compounds such as disilene, digermine, distannine and diplumbine has transbent geometry, and also most of the cases the compound exists as monomer in solution. That was confirmed by electronic spectroscopy. Today I am going to compare the structure and bonding of acetylene molecule with heavier substituted elements. Acetylene, we know that it is a stable molecules and it has sp hybridized carbon atoms, and also the bond order is 3. Now let me see, when you substituted carbon with heavier elements, how does the structure will be changed? That I am going to discuss in this lecture. Before going to start, I would like to recall the structure and bonding of acetylene molecules. Acetylene, we know that carbon having sp hybridized carbon. You have sp hybridized carbon, and also you have two p orbitals. You have two p orbitals which are mutually perpendicular to sp hybridized orbital. You can consider this one will be sp hybridized orbital, sp hybrid orbital of carbon. This one is p z orbital of carbon. This one is, the dotted line is py orbital of carbon. Okay. So now sp hybrid orbital having a single electron, and this low also have single electron which is overlapped with 1s orbital of hydrogen to form Hc sigma bond, and one unpaired electron in sp hybridized carbon, another unpaired electron in one unpaired electron in pz orbital of carbon, another unpaired electron in py orbital of carbon. Now it's overlapping with another carbon having sp hybrid orbital. Okay, you have two p orbital which are mutually perpendicular to sp hybrid orbital. Again, this one is py orbital. This one and this one is py orbital of carbon, and this one is pz orbital of carbon. This py and py is lateral overlap to form pi bond. Similarly, this py again will lateral overlap with another py orbital to form one more pi bond. Okay. So now carbon having between two carbon atoms one sigma bond and two pi bond. This also will be overlapped with hydrogen atom, one atomic orbital of hydrogen to form a sigma bond. The overall structure will be HC triple bond CH. It has between two carbon atoms one sigma bond and two pi bonds. The molecule has linear geometry. we know in the lower level, in the higher secondary level itself, we studied already sp hybridized carbon, how it will involve in bonding to form a linear geometry. And we have to know one important thing, that one, these two electrons are undergoing lateral overlap to form a pi bond. That means electron is delocalized between the two lobes. It's a kind of strong covalent bond was forming between the two carbon atoms. But how does this will be differed? The bonding will be differed when you go from carbon to tin. For example, I am just going to keep E. When I kept E, I already discussed about these things in the last lecture also. I compared ethylene with the disilene, distannine. In that case, we have already observed that energy difference between hybridized orbital and p orbital will keep on increasing when we go from carbon to lead. Similarly, in this case also, when we come from carbon to germanium, tin and lead, sp hybridized orbital and p orbital energy is getting increasing due to the energy difference between these two are increasing. Instead of going to one electron here, this electron will come to hybrid orbitals. You can see that I removed one electron from py orbital and I kept it in the sp hybrid orbital. This is the very basic difference between acetylene molecule and a heavier element substituted. Again I am saying, when you substitute a heavier element in the acetylene carbon, the energy difference between hybrid orbital and p orbital is increasing. So instead of going one unpaired electron to p orbital, it is paired with the sp hybrid orbital. So what happened? sp hybrid orbital has a pair of electron. Each heavy element having sp hybrid orbital which has a pair of electron, resulting these two will not involve in bonding because of mutual repulsion between each other, so no bonding between them. Okay, so if there is no bonding between two elements, how does the bonding will be changed compared with acetylene? Because it is not going to occur the bonding via acetylene happen. Whatever acetylene has undergo bonding, the similar type of bonding will not happen here. It is little bit different. Different type of bonding will happen between the two elements. I am just going to redraw again the bonding in little bit different direction. That's why acetylene has linear geometry and the molecules such as distannine, digermine, stannine, diplumbine, all of them have different geometry. I am just going to draw E. I have sp hybrid orbital. And also I have p orbital. Okay, so and also it has one more p orbital which are perpendicular to this sp hybrid orbital and the p orbital. This sp hybrid orbital and p orbital are perpendicular to each other, and you have one more p orbital which are perpendicular to both sp and p orbital. That's what happened. I just made a circle, that is another p orbital. It is approaching another E. It has sp hybrid orbital and one more p orbital. You have another one more p orbital. I already said that one. sp hybrid orbital has a pair of electron. Again, this side sp hybrid orbital has pair of electron. You have a p orbital that was overlapped with the E. This one is R. P orbital of organic group. P orbital of R. R is any organic group. P orbital of R. Again here this side. This one is again p orbital of R. Okay. So now what happened? It has empty lobe, empty p orbital. A pair of electrons from sp hybrid orbital is moving to p orbital of E, neighbor p orbital of E. Similarly, E has a pair of sp hybrid orbital that is moving to empty p orbital. So this one is p orbital of E. Okay. This one again p orbital of E. For example, if you consider this one is py, then you have pz which is perpendicular to board. I mean, one of the lobe will be above the board and another one is back side of the board. I am just keeping one electron here in one more p orbital. One p orbital has, each p orbital of E has one unpaired electron that is undergoing a sigma bond. Sigma, I mean end to end overlap to form a sigma bond. Okay, so it is forming also a kind of dative bond. Okay. And this is a kind of dative bond. Okay. So if you see the overall structure, how does it looks like? It looks like E is here, silicon, germanium, tin, lead. Okay. Overall geometry if you see E triple bond E R and R. You can see the structure E R E R. So the overall structure is again transbint geometry. In this case, the major difference between acetylene molecules and when you come to heavier elements, the main important difference is instead of one orbital having unpaired electron, in this case the unpaired electron is getting paired and it is present in sp hybrid orbital. So the bonding in this case occurring, which is just a kind of dative bond, that means a completely filled pair of electron is moving to empty p orbital. So it's a kind of dative bond is formed, which was happened in disilene, digermine, that type of whatever you have seen the ethylene molecule derivative, the similar type of bonding occurs here also. That's why what happened. Compared with acetylene molecule, it has different geometry. The bonding is different in case of distannine, germine, distannine and diplumbine. Okay, diplumbine, sorry. Okay, and now let me compare. When you normally, if R group is fixed, I already said that R group is organic group, which should be very sterically bulky group. Only then you can stabilize a molecule of E triple bond E. Okay, if you can stabilize this molecule, or you have to choose very sterically bulky group. If R is fixed, organic group is fixed, means when you come from silicon to germanium, it has a structure of almost the bond angle will be closer to 120 degree. I can't say it's exact 120 degree because the structure most of the time it will get distorted. So it's closer to 120 degree, maybe 110, 115 like that. But when we come to tin and lead, the structure in most of the cases will be deviated or differed. the structure in case of when R is sterically bulky group, if it is fixed, when you go to the element of tin and lead, the structure will be not same. The structure will be little bit different for that case. In the case, what type of bonding will occur? That I am going to discuss now. Again, you have E, you have sp hybrid orbital. You have sp hybrid orbital. Sp hybrid orbital has a pair of electron and one p orbital. This one is R group. Okay. And you have one p orbital which is perpendicular to sp hybrid orbital. It can overlap with the nearby E having p orbital. This p orbital has a pair of each e orbital will provide one electron to form a sigma bond between two E atoms. Okay, you have sp hybrid orbital. This will overlap with the R to form a sigma bond. Also, you have opposite sp hybrid orbital which has a pair of electron. This one is, both of them are sp hybrid orbital of E prime. E prime is equal to tin or lead. Okay. This one again sp hybrid orbital of tin or lead. Okay. So now you can see the structure. When you come from silicon to germanium, when you come from tin to lead, the geometry, you can see that one sp hybrid orbital has a pair of electron that does not involve in any kind of bonding. Even dative bond is not formed in this case. So that makes the structure of E, single bond E, R, instead of putting low, we can put directly unpaired electron. So it is also called as trans-bent geometry. So it is very clear that when you come to an element tin or lead, that sp hybrid orbital has a pair of electron that does not involve in any kind of bonding. In case of covalent bond for acetylene molecule and a dative bond for disilane or digerman type derivative, but when you come to tin or lead, it is completely inert. It does not involve in any kind of bonding. So resulting, you are getting a trans-bent geometry and the bond angle of REE, which is closer to almost 90 degree. But in this case, it's closer to around 120 degree. So that we have to understand the structure difference between the disilane and the digermane derivative with the distannine and the diplumbine derivative. It's a kind of sigma bond is forming, and this one is p orbital of E. P orbital of E. And this one also p orbital of E. Okay. And let me compare the bond order. When we have, if you have taken the molecule of ethylene, ethylene is well known molecule, sorry, not ethylene, sir. Acetylene. Acetylene molecule, the bond order is 3. But when we come to disilane, that means silicon having triple bond. The bond order, the reported bond order is in the range of 2.20 to 2.37. Digermine, it has the bond order of 2.32 to 1.1 1.74. Distannine. It has the bond order of 1.87 to 1.73. Diplumbine. It has the bond order in the range of 1.65 to 1.51. In all cases, it has a range. Why it has the wider range, the reason was it will depend upon a type of substituents with R. If the R group is changed, bond order will be changed. We have various kind of sterically bulky group. What type of R group you are substituting? Depending upon that bond length, the bond order between the E element will be changed. And the least case you can see the diplumbine, it's very clear that the bond order is the bond order is between 1 and 2. But when we come to disilane, it's very closer to 3. That means you can see that in these two cases, it will be considered only as the bond order between 1 and 2. Because that's why it has a structure of transband geometry with the bond angle around 90 degree, and the pair of electron resides, which does not involve in bonding, and the pair of electron resides in sp hybridized orbital. But when we come to disilane, the digermine, the bond order is very closer to 3, so it has some kind of partial double bond character. That's why what happened, just a transband geometry with the bond angle will be more wider and it's more than 90 degree. Okay. We have a comparison of this one, and of course when we go to acetylene, first of all we know that acetylene molecule itself very reactive molecules, but when we come to acetylene to disilane or digermine, these compounds are highly reactive compounds, highly sensitive towards air and moisture. If you expose this type of compound with air or moisture, you can't expect such kind of reaction can happen very fastly, rapidly reaction can happen, you end up with the product. So because that's why what happened, this type of compounds, when you are going to synthesize, you have to handle, you have to use nitrogen atmosphere, you have to maintain inert atmosphere to keep the compound stable, and also you have to keep the compound at a as much as possible low temperature. If you have taken to room temperature, that itself it can be dissociated into various kind of fragments can be possible to occur, because this type of molecules are highly sensitive molecules. Acetylene has two double bonds, two pi bond. That's where the reactivity occurs. When we come here, the pi bond character is decreasing, so the reactivity is increasing. Most of the molecules are even reactive with oxygen and ethanol, so very fast reaction can happen. I would like to share some of the examples how does the reactivity will be. Especially in the last lecture, when I talked about ethylene molecule, we know that ethylene molecule, it can undergo, because of the presence of unsaturation bond, it can undergo addition reaction with hydrogen chloride. It's very well known reaction with like the Markovnikov and anti-Markovnikov addition reaction. When we compare with the disilene, we just take an example of disilene. So disilene molecule, if you have taken means, for example, it has silicon double bond. Actually, it's not a true double bond. The bond order will be around between 1 and 2. That also will depend upon R group. This type of molecules are highly sensitive. If you expose this compound with oxygen, a simple addition reaction can happen to form a peroxide type ring. Nice four-membered ring was formed. Similarly, if you expose this molecule with ethanol, again you can find out a simple addition reaction. Silicon H OET, then you have R, another one more R. Again you have R, Ethanol molecule was added to a silicon-silicon double bond. Hydrogen was added on one of the silicon atom. Ethoxy was added to another of the silicon atoms. Similarly, if you react this one with HCl, whatever happened with the Markovnik of addition with ethylene or any alkene with hydrogen bromide, similar type of reaction can happen here also. Simple addition reaction. You can see here how much you can understand how much the compound of diacylene kind of compounds are very reactive towards oxygen. Similarly, you can expect such kind of reactions. You can expect compared with the diacylene will be more reactive because it has triple bond, so it will be more reactive. So such kind of reaction can happen even with the triple bonded compounds also. So I would like to conclude now. Acetylene has a planar structure and this HCCH has a linear geometry with the carbon-carbon having 3 bonds. One is sigma bond, another 2 is pi bond. When you replace acetylene with the heavy element, like you can see the purple color. The purple color 2 is just a element of silicon and germanium. Just assume these 2 are silicon and germanium, and between it has 1 sigma bond and 2 pi bond. Actually, these are not true triple bond. The bond order I already discussed that one. It's around closer to 2.20 only, but it is partial more than 2. The bond order is more than 2, so some amount of triple bond character is there for this silane compounds. And how does the bonding? You can see that one sigma bond is formed, that is with p orbitals, and another one, this sp hybridized orbital. Sp hybridized orbital is having a pair of electron, is moving to the empty p orbital. Again, a empty sp hybrid orbital in this ball having a pair of electron is moving to the empty p orbital, a formation of 2 dative bonds. 2 dative bonds are forming between the silicon and germanium, and also you can see that one sp hybrid orbital that is involving a bonding with the p orbital to form a 2 sigma bonds. It's a kind of again one more sigma bond, and this one is p orbital. P orbital having a lobe which does not involving in any kind of bonding. I mean that I have rubbed actually. This p orbital, what happened? It was not involving any bonding. So what happened? Finally, you have a trans bent geometry. You can see that one, the 2 organic groups are trans to each other, and this one has a kind of bent geometry. It has a kind of bent geometry. So the overall geometry will be called as trans bent geometry. Hope you can understand the difference between planar structure and the trans bent geometry. When you substituted heavy elements, the geometry will be changed from linear to trans bent in case of silicon and germanium substituted compound. When you come to tin or lead substituted compound, you can see that one, it is again trans bent geometry, but this I am talking about green color ball, yellow color and yellow color. It has bond angle closer to 90 degree. This type of bonding can happen only with tin and lead, mostly with lead, because lead, what happen, you have a pair of electron in sp hybridized orbital. This violet color whatever I am holding, this has a pair of electron, and the opposite sp hybrid orbital having an unpaired electron, that is used for overlapping with the p orbital to form a sigma bond. And also you have another p orbital, that the p orbital having an unpaired electron. That unpaired electron is with the tin or lead is overlapping with another tin or lead having unpaired electron to form a sigma bond. In this case, the difference between later case and this case is this orbital has a sp hybrid orbital has a pair of electron which does not involve a kind of dative bond. I mean, donor acceptor type bonding was not happened with another p orbital. That's what it is, highly inert. When you come to lead, this unpaired electron is inert, will not involving in any kind of bonding. That's why what happened, this unpaired electron descend as such. That's why the bond order is coming down. It's very closer to between, the bond order is close between 1 and 2. So the bond order in this case will be lesser compared with the remaining case. Okay, I have concluded this session, and the reference for this topic is, I have one reference. You can just find out this reference. You can read this reference to get more knowledge about such kind of compounds. Bulletin of the Chemical Society of Japan. 2006 it was published. 2006, volume 79, issue 6, page number 825. This article was written by Professor Akira Sekiguchi. Okay. I hope this is a very interesting article. Please read this article to know more about the structure and the bonding of heavier element substituted acetylene derivatives. Thank you very much.